Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and whenever you watch the replay. Today's a struggle day, a lot going on. Um, so bear with me today. Um, it seems as though that whenever I go into the 9 to 5, I'm exhausted by the end of the day, and then the day was a little longer than one would hope. Um, so just struggling a little bit. Yeah, that's one of those days. If I was quilting and sometimes during quilting people will make these quilts that has to do with the temperature of the weather. They often uses different colors for that, and then you get a whole quilt that's called a temperature quilt. Well, if if I were having a temperature quilt being made, yeah, today would be like a different color than yesterday on the struggles. Um, so yeah, the last it just seems I don't even know where March went. It seems like all the things are happening all the time. So today we're going to talk about discover your personal sorry, it's having a hard time today. Unleashing creativity, discover your purpose and fulfillment. So we've kind of been talking about that for the last few times with, ever since I started these 100 days, we've been talking about that. And, it's all about connecting with yourself, self care, empowerment. Good morning, Christina. Empowerment. Um, what else? Really connecting with your art, like all the things is about today and finding your purpose and fulfillment. Um, and how has creating art made you feel? How does it set your tone for your mindset? All those things is about today. And just doing the thing, doing the art helps with the mind, helps with you, with how you connect with others and gives you a sense of purpose. And that's the empowerment part, right? So, anyway, that is what I really am thinking about today is my purpose and fulfillment of creating. And because some days are just really hard. Um, I started on this journey about trying to feel valued and empowered. And so that's when I came up to my art studio, and really started creating art for stress relief and feeling more control in my life because I felt as though others were, especially my 9 to 5 job, others were not seeing my value. Um, I wasn't feeling fulfilled in my 9 to 5. And so this is where I turned into my art to feel that connection with my art and who I am, my inner self, and know that others, I guess I'm trying really hard not to just say, you know what? I know my value, and it's okay if others don't see it because it doesn't matter to me, right? So like when someone is is trying to have a mentality of, I don't want to say bully, but they don't realize what they're doing sometimes, putting other people down or devaluing them. And sometimes they do, don't get me wrong. But I think sometimes when you have coworkers or leaders who really are in their own world, they don't see how they affect others. They don't realize how others perceive them, right? And so I I am very much a person that I know my value. I know who I am, and I'm not going to let anybody put me down. And so that gets to me sometimes. And so I find myself in the art studio, and it's kind of like me putting up my wall and saying, you know what? That's you. That's a you problem. And you can stay over there because this is my world and I'm not going to let you in my world. And so that's really where I found my, you know, empowerment and self-care and stress relief through my art. So that's really what I wanted to talk about today. So I just really had a hard time of not being real firm on how I feel, because sometimes that can come across to others, you know, intentionally wrong. But I am very much know exactly who I am and who I want to be. So um, just really understanding that about yourself, and I use that art to remind myself of that. So I hope all that made sense. But anyway, um, let's go ahead and go top down, and let's get back to creating because that's what we're here for. All right. My little picture in picture is not working today. We have all the things going on today. So got to figure that out. Um, I was just looking, the one that you guys helped me create, this is starting to become one of my favorites. I just want you all to know that. So shout out to those who helped me on Saturday. Um, that was really a lot of fun. All right. I cannot wait for the recap video. Because I can't wait to show you like what we've done so far in the last 2 weeks. We got quite the collection going, but that's going to take a minute to get that video out. I got to record it. I got to have a weekend. Yeah, things are fun right now. There's just a lot going on. But it will be there. I will get that out, get it recorded and get that out. All right. 1 second here, looking for things. There's this one. Let's go ahead and wrap this one. That's what I'm looking for. So anyway, I hope that you got that when you're watching this, and if you're feeling the way I was feeling, um, I hope that when you go into art, go do your art today, um, or start your art journey, whatever that case may be for you, that you will start feeling your value, and because you are valuable, and um, find your energy behind that. So sorry, I'm making a lot of noise there. Um, I don't know. I found it very empowering when I made the conscious effort to say, you know what, this is who I am, and it's okay if they don't like me, or it's okay if they don't understand, because I am confident in myself to not allow others to bring down my confidence. So um I just I've kind of been like that my entire life. It's, you know, being raised that you can accomplish anything you set your mind to. Sorry. Um, got another lovely one right here. But not everybody, you know, was raised the same way, and so I'm hoping that by watching what we're doing, for the next 100 days, you will find that, if that's lacking for you. Okay. Oh, so love the fact that we have all these scraps. Like, all the scraps are coming back in. I did want to share one thing real quick before we get started. You see these little snowflakes right here? For those of you that do jelly printing, that's because there's not a lot of viscosity in your paint. And so therefore the paint beads up on the gel plate. So that right there, that little snowflake effect, that's what that's from. And I love that effect. And so don't ever think that your gel prints are not good, especially if you have this in here. Go ahead and pull that print and save it, because you can always use that print somewhere else. And I think it makes a nice little texture. So just wanted to show you that. It only took me 2 weeks to remember to miter my corners. But here we are. I finally did it. You know, I have a lot of triangles from mitering my corners. That might have to be one of the canvas boards. Today it seems to be a little bit, not a lot of humidity here to keep my my glue a little dry, but we'll see what we can do. It keeps drying it too fast is what I'm trying to say. I know you can't see that off screen. Hold on one second. Okay. Wrinkle there. That's okay. It's on the back side, but I've gotten a lot faster unwrapping these than when I first started. I got my process down. And that's what happens when you do something for 100 days, right? Like, maybe I'll be at the end of 100 days, I'll be able to snap my fingers and these things will be, these things will have been wrapped. So, and I think I've gotten I'm pretty close to getting that process down of not getting air bubbles. I find that when I put glue down on the canvas board, put glue on the back of the paper, that, and then smooth it out before I wrap it, that will prevent the air bubbles. So, okay, let's see what we have here. We definitely have some blues and purples today. So let's see what we're going to pull out of our little bag of tricks. I did have this little one that I cut out the other day. This little circle tissue paper. I do not like this white edge. I'm going to get rid of that. Oh, I should probably be able to tear it because it's with the grain. Oh yeah, see, it just tears pretty quickly. That works. Let's see what else we got. last time I used this piece, we ended up in a disaster. We'll see what it does this time. Hmm. So, Christina, what do you have going on today? Do you have a lot of things to do? I know I have a busy day ahead of me. Um, so I definitely have one of those busy days. So I'm just looking for pieces here that kind of complement. Looking at some of my scraps. Do I have more scraps on here? Maybe let's see what this is. Maybe I like a little bit of pink over here. The scraps on my table is what I'm looking at. Lots of stuff in the AM, art in the afternoon. Oh, cool. What have you been working on, Christina, for your art? Are you doing the 100 days as well, or are you just making art to kind of help with some of that uh, stress relief? Or the 100 days is just all about creating for 100 days. It's, you don't have to create something, it's just doing something creative. So I was just curious of what was what you were doing. If you feel like sharing, don't feel like you don't have to share if you don't want to. Um, a couple of playing card challenges, and I need to catch up on 100 Days of Doodles. Oh, that's awesome, Christina. I would love to see what you're doodling there for the 100 days. Um, those are little artworks in themselves. So I would love to see that. If you wouldn't mind sharing in the community what you've been doing, that would be awesome because um, I think that would be inspiring to others for sure. I'm liking this little orange piece, but just trying to find a home for it would be good. So let's see here. Hmm, little orange piece is not doing the thing. Let's see here. I have some big. Okay, let me move my trays out of the way. I have to say, I love these trays. It kind of keeps my desk nice and neat when I put things back in the tray. So, there is. All right, got yellow in there. Don't need yellow. More yellow. I need some more die cuts. That's what I need. There is. I want something here, and that's not the right color. We're gonna have to do something to make that pop. Nope, too big. It's got to be something like that or small. I think we're just going to go with this, but we're going to have to do Posca pens or something on this. Um, let me try something real quick. I'm going to put that to the side. I want to see what this looks like with using these distress crayons. I just want this to kind of pop a little bit. Of course, I'm using yellow. I always use yellow for some reason. I kind of like that orange on there. Let's see what. A little bit of water. Let's see what this does. It might not do anything, but one could hope. Could be just a giant mess. I just wanted to blend it in a little bit. Kind of like using it, the crayons kind of like edging, like when you take your distress inks or whatever and you edge, give it some edging. And let's see what this looks like. Picking up some of it, just a little bit, but all right. Did that do anything for us or just make a mess? It's okay. Bring that orange back in here. There's just something missing on this thing. We're gonna do something here. It's not giving me the contrast I'm looking for. All right, let's see what this does. I like things really contrasty. It's just not, but also it's got to go with it, right? So just not getting the things yet. It's got to jump out and say, here I am. Okay. Where is that yellow? Mr. Yellow. Of all things, I do not see my yellow Posca pen. Well, that's real fun. Well, sorry, you can't see that. Wish I could zoom in I wish I had a lens that zooms in. If anybody knows of where you can get a lens that you can push a button and it zooms in, let me know where I can get that because I would love one of those. I want to be able to push a button and it zooms in on my work so that you could see it. If you got one, let me know where I can find one or get one. That is not doing anything for me. Back to the orange. Okay. I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. I just really wanted, it looks like I'm scribbling on my paper here. All right, we'll let that dry for a minute. Um, yep, that's popping. What I need is something on the inside, and I really need that yellow Posca pen, but at last it has disappeared because that's what we do. Let's see if I can bring in some of this blue. Will that work? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay. So, ooh, running out of time. I didn't even glue these things down. Wow. Okay, I think that is going to be much better. Let me see if I can get that. I haven't glued it down yet. So I think that will work. And this one's going to look like this. Oh, now that I messed it all up, need to glue that down. Okay, let's see if I can do that real quick. While this is dry. Maybe we'll just go over a little bit, but hopefully not. Didn't even know there was a double die cut there. Get on there, please. Thank you. We want this guy here. Oh, wait, we want this guy underneath here. Okay, so it goes like that. All right. Oh, Sherry. Did you forget what you were doing? I think you did. Get in there. Stick you down there. I want to get off my finger. All right. We got this down there. And when things are not working for you today, yep, it's going to be one of those days for me. Okay. This guy is going to go here. Don't know about the square. Probably not. We're going to get a trusty dot because you got to have a dot in just about every one of these. I have tons of dots. How many ways can you use a dot? Nope, not big enough dot. Maybe we'll go back to the square. No, we will not. Do not like that. Okay, that one's going to sit. Let's get this guy going. I think I'm going to put it around this so that really. Okay, these are a little, it's still a little wet, but we will. I will probably go back over it with Posca pens here because it's still a little wet and it's not happy, but at least we know what we're doing with this. That helps with contrast by putting it over the white snowflakes that we talked about. That really helps with the popping that out with the contrast of that circle. Because that circle's a little dark and you had a lot of dark colors on the canvas, and so one using my Posca pens to pop that out, and the what are these distress crayons? That's the word I'm trying to use. Um, that helped, change the tone of the circle, but then the inner was getting lost as well. So we'll go back with Posca pens tomorrow and mess with that circle. All right. So, Christina, I would love to see your doodles. So please add those to the community because I want to see your artwork and what you're doing. Um, that could spark inspiration for others. Definitely would spark inspiration for me, especially when I'm using my Posca pens and want to create some kind of patterns with them. So um, definitely would be interested in seeing your doodles. It's okay if you don't think that they're perfect because remember, this is not about perfection. This is about connecting with your art and inspiring others. And so feel free to do that if you feel free. Again, discovering your purpose and fulfillment. Don't, let me rephrase. When you feel as though someone's not seeing your value, or you're stressed, or you don't feel empowered, or you're having a sad day, whatever emotion you're going through, go do the art. Go do the art and connect with it. You will feel so much better. We talked about using textures in our art. We also talked about colors and placement of composition. That's the word I'm looking for. Sorry, in our art, and go and explore that. Explore what you're feeling. If you're feeling happy, then explore that. That's okay. If you're feeling sad, go do the same thing. But do the thing. Do the art thing. Um, I think that would really help you with connecting with your inner self and work through your emotions. That's how I started on my journey was, again, not feeling valued at work, undervalued, and not feeling empowered. That was huge. Um, and so when I realized I was feeling that way, I went to my art studio and felt a lot bit better and really connected with myself and reminded myself who I am. So you go do the art thing and remind yourself who you are. You are valued, you are important, and your voice matters. And so go connect with yourself and your art. And with that, I hope that everybody has a great day. We will see you tomorrow. I will get that 2 week recap filmed out because that's really exciting. I want you to see all the things we've been doing the last 2 weeks. And with that, thank you for watching Ratchet Up Your Art.